David. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Uh,
Just
th-
juggling 4 films as I try and knock out a few minutes here with you.
well, I appreciate your time, so I'm not going to keep you too much. In case our audience doesn't know, we are talking with the self-help guru, Gordon St. Pierre, from the film Reboot Camp. I gotta be honest with you, I had such a good time with that film. And
Like, I mean, that's what it's about. It's not an easy time that we're all dealing with.
yeah,
And what's interesting is probably the self-help business is experiencing even newer highs than they
absolutely.
already were when we were making them. And Ivo Raza, the writer-director, was inspired by the fact that along with actually helping people, there's a lot of con men and con women in the space who are taking advantage of it. And we're seeing that more than ever now, where people are so hungry for a connection and spirituality and
Mhm.
something to take away the pain of what's happened with quarantine, being stuck in space for too much time with family or other people, and there are ramifications to that. So it's no wonder that people are searching for things. The irony is sometimes those people who we look to as gurus and whatnot get corrupted by the power themselves and end up not being such great people. And that's really what happens in this film. The best intentions to expose the corruption in the self-help world, and I end up getting high on my own supply. And I am a guru. And that's probably what's happened to a lot of these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking at some numbers on self help, and I read that by next year it's looking to be a $13 billion industry. And kind of like you're saying, I wonder how much of that is actually honest to God self help, or we have people like Claire who just want to
That's
cash
right.
in. Where
And I
did
think you
you?
have some people who are legitimately bad people who
Yes.
come in looking to manipulate the system. And then I think what probably happens, like in Reboot Camp, is good intentions probably started the
Mhm.
process, and then it power corrupts. It's amazing how that happens. And what's so cool about this film is it's satire, while at the same
Mhm.
time real stuff is happening. And the key to that Evo was a stickler about is we don't push it. We don't try and force the comedy. We don't try and be funny. We play this straight on all the way through, and the funny moments will come.
Absolutely. You have with Evo, and obviously you're a producer on the film. You guys have quite an array of different regular types of people with different types of problems coming in who all need help. But I think that herd mentality sometimes of, well, he's getting good help and he says it's good, it's going to work on me too. And eventually, everybody, including in this case, Seymour, drink the Kool-Aid. It's like, yeah, I am helping people. This is good.
Yeah, we even have that moment in the film where they say, "Do you believe that you actually help people?" And I said, "Yeah, because I did. I did the stuff, and people got better. Sometimes, like with Billy Morrison, I just went
Yeah, you did.
felt better."
Yeah, I think I made a joke with Evo the other day, and I was saying, well, I think I'm gonna go stand on the couch now to feel a little bit better because it was a great moment of the film.
Well, and the funny thing about that is I bring a lot of what I've learned through my journey as an actor to the table. All those one-on-one interviews between me and the campers, those sessions, those were all improv. So there were a lot, maybe 75% of the film was scripted, but you had a good 25% that was unscripted, in the moment improvs. And that's one of the things I learned is if you change your perspective, things will change. And I have that line in the movie: if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Now,
Mhm.
it sounds kind of funny with the accent and everything in the moment, but it's actually true. Perspective is half the battle. This is either half full or it's half empty.
Mhm.
And there's a lot that you can do just by changing someone's perspective. And in that respect, anybody can be a guru. Anybody can help you see a different way to look at things, that is not negative, but rather positive. And just by making positive choices, we're going to feel better. Another thing that happens in the movie is we have this therapist, this psychologist, who's constantly giving us the real stuff. And this is actual research Evo did, and it was on the nose and it was correct. And she has the line where she says, I don't care who you are. You got a couple of dozen people hugging you, telling you they love you, you're going to feel better.
Right.
And that's what happens in Reboot Camp. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter if you've been to college or what's been going on in your life. Anybody is susceptible to that. And going back to what we originally said, in this time, more than ever, we're starving for this stuff. You know, in two ways. One is we're isolated. So I'm talking to you on a Zoom. I have no physical interactions. Now imagine somebody lives like that and they go to a place like Reboot Camp and people are affectionate and more opening them in and they're saying you're our family now. But also as a society, we're scared to hug. We're scared to do these things that used to be commonplace because there's this double-edged sword of, yes, we want to be socially conscious, and the other is we're afraid. We're afraid that it will be called out for, oh, he hugged me, you know. So we have to be very, very careful on the ramifications of, yes, we're growing as a society, we're being socially conscious, we're doing important work. At the same time, are we no longer affectionate towards each other, and what does that cost? And that has opened the door for these self-help gurus and these camps to flourish, and unfortunately, in the same respect, for cults to flourish, which we've been seeing on stuff like The Vow on HBO, and how so many people got sucked into that. And if you just go through the list on Netflix, it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, and then you guys also have some hints of those TV evangelists. You have those little cutscenes where he's justifying his plane. You know, he's got to get there before the devil, and
it's even tax free.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's a religion, it's tax free. But listen, thank you so much for having me, Emmanuel. I wish I could talk to you forever. I'm on a location shoot now for A Christmas Letter. It's a new film that I'm starring in here in Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. So I'll tell you about that hopefully another time, another show.
Look forward to it.
And you're about to meet some of my castmates who are amazing. Have fun and watch Reboot Camp May 4th, all the platforms on VOD.
Thank you for wrapping it up for me. And thanks for your time. I appreciate it, especially being that you're on location.